course, through cinema history, there have been many directors and actors who have been linked together through a series of pictures of Griffith and Gish, Ford and Wayne, and Bergman and von Sydow. He has described in interviews your work together as an enigmatic relationship. How would you describe your working relationship?
Our enigmatic relationship? Yeah, well, that's very difficult to describe. He has... Well, of course, it's easier for a director who knows his actors very well, who has spent a lot of time with them, who knows them personally, who has seen them act on the stage, maybe and worked with them in theater productions, maybe several. And after the first productions together, you also get to know him. He has anybody who has seen his films must understand, he has a very special view on the world. His films are not typically Swedish. They are very Swedish, but they are above all typically Bergman. And you learn to know him and his views, and you know what he wants to show. If you work in a play, you know what, you understand what in this particular play must have tempted him to work with that particular play. And because of this, he doesn't really talk too much about or tell you too much what he wants you to do. In his way of pacing, say, the blocking of the play or the scene in front of the camera, you understand pretty well what he wants you to do. And he uses very basic terms in his instructions. He is very interested, always was, and has a deep insight in music. So he often uses musical terms, for example. And he doesn't really tell you what to do. He tells you, if he doesn't like what you're doing, he tells you not to do that or that. But he is quite marvelous because he gives you he leaves a lot of the initiative to you. And he's open for suggestions, so it can sometimes be a wonderful give and take relationship.
In terms of rehearsal on the early pictures, how much rehearsal time did you have?
Not very much. I don't remember now, but I think maybe not until Through Glass Darkly, which was shot, I think, 58 or 59, I don't remember. Did we rehearse before the production started? I'm not absolutely sure, but as I now recall it, I think that was the case. He doesn't rehearse very much. He rehearses just enough for the camera people to know what's going to happen, and for the actors to feel comfortable. But he doesn't want to kind of wear out the actors, although say that the freshness of the scene. And he doesn't shoot too many takes either. At least, well, now I'm talking about something which is kind of, it's not, I haven't worked with him for quite a while, so I don't know what he's been doing lately, but I'm talking about the time when I worked with him. But he didn't. He went for a fresh approach, spontaneous approach, so to speak.
In terms of shooting the famous chess sequence when you play with death,
Yes.
how did he prime you or prepare you for that particular scene? And let me make this a two-pronged question. How locked in was Bergman to the script, to the text?
The first question I cannot answer because it's such a long time ago. The second question I can answer. In those days, he was very locked into his own texts. So he had very precise dialogues. Later on, I don't remember when it happened to me the first time. I think it was in Shame. which was in the mid-60s. Then, at certain occasions, he just gave us the topics of the conversation and put up 2 cameras and shot whatever we said and allowed improvisation. I don't know if he has done that lately.
In Wild Strawberries, Victor Sjöström, the silent film director, of course, played a major role. What was he like? He had a fascinating career.
He was wonderful. He was a wonderful man and was a nice person and a wonderful actor. I worked with him, not very much in that one, I had a very small part, but I worked with him a couple of times on the stage. Once in a play by this Bergman I mentioned before. And the second time was, or maybe the first time, I don't remember, was in Green Pastures, where he played God, blackface, which was interesting. And he was a very generous man, with an enormous knowledge of filmmaking, of course. Unfortunately, he didn't direct any movies during the later part of his life.